How are you handling the hits, right? Walk people through like that crypto roller coaster, because right now it would be on the downside. All right, I have a question for you, and I feel like this is something people are gonna wanna know.
Okay.
Everything's down right now. Crypto, stock market, pandemic, war going on, Russia, Ukraine, like it's a wild time out there. How are you handling the hits, right? Because me and one of my close coworkers, I'll say, talk all the time about buying red, buying the dip. And we long-term holders, so we laugh about it, because in the earlier days, really around the time we shot the video, he didn't even know about Solana, so I told him about that. And at this time, it was a good buy for anything under 200. Obviously it's dipped below 100, it's starting to creep its way back up. He's a long-term guy, I'm a long-term guy, I'm like, yeah, I actually feel bad about that one, because, it ain't too hot right now. But he, he knows. He's like, I bought more. Same thing here. For anybody watching it, right, who's like, all right, well, right now, if you was hype about crypto 6 months ago for the first time, and you haven't had the chance to see those gains yet, right, because everything you put in right now is f***ed up. How do you handle that? And like, what is your mindset about it in terms of moving forward? Are you waiting out the storm? Are you buying more during the storm? Are you celebrating the storm? Like, what? Or are you blown? Are you mad? Have you ever woke up like, what the f*** happened? Like, walk people through like that crypto roller coaster, because right now it would be on the downside.
The first thing I would say, because you're asking me about like my mindset and how I'm handling the current market.
You just read your portfolio.
Yeah.
A lot of great coins in there, but there may be some that have done the whole 15, 20, 50x. But then it's some that have done, the extreme drop, and it might level out for you in particular. But for the people who just started getting into crypto, they bought their first little bit of ETH, they bought their first little bit of Bitcoin, they bought their first meme coin. You know what I'm saying? They finally did that.
Yeah.
Most of those people have lost money in the last 6 months. But I'm asking Keril, how you handle those dips and swings.
It's a great question. You gave me a lot to unpack. I think the first question was how I'm handling the dip in the current market, or like the market's going to shit
right now.
Like, how do I handle it? And my answer is the same way I handled it in 2008. Like, when the market's down, there's an opportunity. Your job is to find that opportunity. I guess to answer the question directly, what I'm doing is looking at different businesses, different skill sets, how other people are still making money in the market, and so I'm in study mode.
Right.
So when the market's down and things aren't going well, I'm in study mode.
Right.
I'm like, some people make money in a downturn. Right. Like traders do.
Yeah, well, that's different. That's what options.
Well, it's not different.
It's not different, but like.
No. I'm not, like, hear me out. Like, what I'm saying is that when one thing isn't working or going well, it's a good time to step back and learn.
Right.
So I'm not saying that you need to trade, right? Like, it's different, it's a whole different thing. But now it's probably a good time to pick up a book on trading, maybe.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
Hey, how do people make money in like a downturn?
Right.
Right. And you could, I know with some of these apps, like you could like fake trade. Like, I know there's a better term for it.
No, I know what you mean. They give you like simulated money.
Like fake money,
to
right?
Practice, yeah.
So you could do that. In 2008, the best thing I did, right? Like, I wasn't as savvy as I am now, but I invested in myself and I invested in my career. So I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Everything was tanking. Like, companies were firing people. Even Cisco was laying off people. I was like, yo, I just doubled down on my skill set, getting better at sales, bought more books, went to more conferences. I was like learning, like, okay, like in a downturn, how do you sell like in a downturn, right? Did that, left that, went to a startup. And so while the market wasn't doing well, that's an opportunity to go find a place where somebody isn't doing well. You got a skill set, or you can learn a skill set and go make money. So to answer your question bluntly, now I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm like, oh, I work at Google. Google's great. However, I'm studying all these crypto guys now. I'm like, yo, like, how did I think it's Sam Bankman-Friedman or something like that. Like, he's worth like whatever. He found like a loophole in like how he trades, whatever. Like, it was a currency discrepancy between like China and whatever, and he was able to kind of keep buying coins. Yeah. It's like a billionaire now. My whole point is this: that's a skill set.
Right.
Bringing everything I said back to the one question you were asking me, which is how am I handling the market, is a great time to find and understand opportunities. When the market's up, you balling. You like, oh man, yeah, I bought the dip. I came up on the dip. I cashed out. I'm in the club with my girl. When the market's just down and your money's down, you can't take it out because it's so low, right? It's so like underwater. Yeah. It's like, ain't nothing you can do, bro.
That's what I'm asking.
Make more money.
Yeah, because there's a subset of people who are impatient, right? And they bought, when we say bought, not that we're mad influence, just the world was telling you buy. And then the world started worlding, right? Right. Pandemics, wars, economy, changes in presidents, you name it.
Yeah.
And now we're in a space where the values are significantly down from where they were. I remember everything tanked in March 2020 when it happened. And by June, not even nowhere close to being out of the pandemic, Walmart and Tesla hit record highs. Or that's just an example, right?
Yeah.
But the stock market recovered and went to record highs and had like single Dow day records. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I know there's people seeing this who got in crypto 6 months ago and they're never going to return because they had a bad experience. They got in, at a time when it seemed like a good buy. Now everything is down. They want to hear from people like you and me who make videos to say like, what happens when I followed the advice of a crypto enthusiast who 6 months ago told me to buy, and now I'm down half my money. I say buy more because you weren't supposed to put in money that you were going to miss in the first place.
Exactly.
My mindset is they're on sale, whereas one Solana coin cost me $200 6 months ago. I can get for half price at 98. So instead of buying 5 coins, for a G, I can get 5 coins for 500. Because eventually, when I look back and I got 800, 1,000 coins, I'm happy at the trading price in the future, and I'm happy at the price that I purchased it at. But if I'm only thinking about the times when it's lower than my purchase point, emotionally, I'm always going to feel like, why am I doing this? I'm losing money, unless I shift to a unit-based mindset. I'm sure there's people who do it. I just don't. Like a day trader mentality where you're in and out. It's up, taking out, in and out. It just seems like that's a setup for disappointment because of how volatile it is. But if you ask anybody who bought Bitcoin in 2017, in 2022, how they're doing today, it's static, right? Because the 5-year, they weren't trading, pulling in and going out. They're here with it. So like, that's a message, I guess. I just hijacked this part of the Q&A to say like, you got to have a long-term hold mentality or else these short-term downturns will eat you alive. I just want to make sure we address that.